Stumps on day 2, India are 36 for no loss. Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma have started very confidently. After Australia and their tail frustrated the Indian bowlers, Australia ending up with 480, with Nathan Lyon and Todd Murphy sharing a partnership of over 50 runs for the 9th wicket. Usman Khwaja getting out in the first ball of the session today. And so 480 all out, 36 for no loss India. A total of only 6 wickets have fallen in this game, on this day so far. Just 6 wickets.
Seems better than 4 that fell on day 1.
Yeah, so it's increasing.
Improvement. And I think, isn't this the exact scenario predicted during a lunch show?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
India will be all out. Australia will be all out.
Yeah.
With last half hour, 1 hour, something like that to go.
Yep.
India would have batted, got some runs. I think we had predicted 500 runs for Australia.
Yeah.
Close enough then.
Yeah, roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
485, whatever. And that India would get about half hour, 1 hour somewhere. And that's exactly how it's panned out. 480 is what Australia got. India have batted to get to how many runs they are not out at?
36.
What that tells you is that the good thing is that our prediction is spot on. You can check out the lunch show. But the bad thing of that is the remainder of that prediction was that then India will bat for 2 days. And then 5th day you would expect both teams to be out, even though it may start turning and it will offer something. It may be tough. So assuming India go on to bat similar lines of Australia, give or take a few, that's about 170 odd overs Australia batted.
Yep.
So if let's say India bat around 170 also, I'm saying just average, that's how many? 340?
Yeah, I mean
340 overs.
340.
340 overs is how many? 270 overs is 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
And so that's 70. So almost 4 days.
4 days.
Right.
20 overs short of 4 days is when India would finish. Then 110 overs of game remaining.
Yeah.
To get a result in 110 overs.
Either India has a big lead of 100 or 150. And ideal scenario, okay, India bats throughout day 3, which could happen. Day 4, 2 sessions, ideally you would want to be there, get a lead of 100 runs. Insert Australia in, final session of day 4, you could have a result then.
4 sessions to force a result. Huh?
How? So if India finish with 20 overs left on day 4,
yeah,
and get about the same amount of runs. No,
I am saying they will score at a slightly better rate because 167 they hardly cross 3.
This is just, I'm saying based on, they could be all out for 300 also.
That can happen, yeah.
So not if they do or that, anything could happen.
Yeah.
Or they could get 600 also. We don't know.
A lot of our family members are pointing out vibes of Chennai Test 2016. Same score, Australia had made 480, India made about 600 plus.
Yeah, but for India to get 600 is 5th day only.
Yeah.
India would have had, no matter how fast they bat, for them to get 600 runs, you should have to bat
at over 3.5 per over.
So that will be 4 days.
Yes.
4 days of the test match done.
Yeah.
5th day, then
you are hoping for an Australia collapse.
In 90 overs.
Yeah.
And that you've set them a target of 120.
Yes.
Too much. Too much. You are like, I mean, as I said, stranger things have happened on the cricket pitch, but let's be realistic. Yeah. If you would ask me right now, end of day 2, how the match has panned out, again, I think the maximum probability I see right now would be of a draw. Only saying that because India also started well and they did not look in any sort of discomfort. And I know that we will talk about that partnership between Nathan Lyon and Murphy. But while that just, it wasn't great for India. Hello Aditi. Did you see the match? How was?
No, I was busy doing my work. Then I thought I'd just come and check if the studio is free, but it ain't apparently.
You wanted to do something in the studio?
Shoot.
Yes.
Shoot. We can shoot later. So, I mean, if you would ask me in terms of probability of what is going to happen, I think the maximum probability is still of a draw. And
followed by an Australia win, probably.
Followed by an Australia win. Because what that partnership of Nathan Lyon and Murphy told me is that the condition is good and that the pitch is really helping. So the point that Siddharth was making earlier, the one thing could be that great batting or poor bowling by India may not now be a very strong possibility, considering Nathan Lyon and Murphy also made run.
Yes.
They are no great shake with the bat. So probably, there is absolutely nothing in the pitch. And that's why even they can, which tells me that India then also should get close to 500, more give, take 100 runs here, there. If all of that put together, I think maximum chance of a draw, that's why.
Yeah.
Second and Australia win simply because India are chasing the game. So on that front, I think it could be a draw, but a miracle would be an India.
Miracle, and the tone will be set on the first hour of day 3 tomorrow.
The same old cliche.
Come on, on day 2.
That will be the thing.
No, but that's a forever cliche for us, no? First half of day 3, first half of day 4,
because you
first
look
half
at
of
it,
day 5,
what's
first half
happened?
of second session of day 5.
First ball of the final session, Usman Khwaja
got out.
lapse in
No,
concentration.
but the important hour was the first hour of day 2.
And my important question is that would we have all 5 days
Yes.
of cricket
Yes.
this
Yeah, we
time?
are.
Yes, we are.
All
we are.
right, then that's interesting.
Finally, we are seeing 5 days of cricket.
Yes, okay, good.
After I don't know when was the last time we had 5-day cricket in India.
In India?
After maybe Chennai 2021.
But will you be there to watch 5 days? It's weekend.
No,
Weekends you are.
at least on
Fifth
a
day should be
weekend,
there, no?
on the weekend I can watch a bit of it today, so I couldn't yesterday.
You don't get
also.
time on weekends. You're busy. You say.
No. Why would I be busy? I
You have
partied
social
on Holi.
social engagements over the weekend.
No, not this weekend at least. So I'd be
You have
home.
done your.
Yeah, my quota of social engagements
Holi
is
midweek.
Yeah, Holi midweek.
Then you can watch some good cricket. It's going to be a
I
good
have
weekend.
full plans to do that.
Yeah. And your favorite was Rohit Sharma. Who was
Virat Kohli.
Virat
No,
Kohli.
he
No,
wasn't.
not Virat.
Joking.
Who was it? Rohit Sharma.
No, I've always liked Hardik Pandya.
Hardik. Yeah. Hardik. But the Hardik's not there, na? Test match.
Hardik's not here.
Otherwise, you could have enjoyed some fireworks from Hardik's bat. But I think it's not just for you. It's a big weekend coming up for all cricket fans, because I think they have been waiting for years to see some fine batting by a lot of Indian batsmen on Indian pitches. Yes, Rohit Sharma has done well in the middle, got that 100. But I'm saying, a pitch, age-old retro pitch where you'll get 2-3 hundreds. I think it's all set up.
Yep.
May still happen, may not happen, but it's all set up for a good day or good weekend of some Indian batting. And I think the timing couldn't have been better, because after the first day, which I think they got about 60-70,000 they recorded that came in, out of which majority only came to see the celebrations at the start, cricket diplomacy, or a lot of them left right after that. But today apparently only 5,000 people turned
You
up.
were in Ahmedabad, I believe.
I was.
Right? So how was it over there, like to be in throes of things? The
No, but I was there a
excitement,
day before the Prime Minister's came.
All right.
So I could have stayed back, but I was like, no, I don't want to be here at that time, because so much of
Steal the limelight.
yeah, I don't want to steal the limelight away from the two Prime Ministers. No. Generally, why? Because I realized that after that, if you're there, then movement would have been tough. There's a lot of security, airports. So I was like, best to just record the show, which we did, and out of Ahmedabad before the big guns, the VIPs arrived in Ahmedabad. But I'm saying great weekend for all fans to be watching their favorite players play some good knocks. Hopefully.
You would be spending your weekends here,
Yes.
giving
We're
them
not as lucky
updates.
as-
I'd watch you from home.
We're not as accurate. But can I tell you, I actually don't mind.
Yeah.
Because what better way to spend your weekend with some more cricket crazy nuts like ourselves?
Yeah.
They all come
If you
wherever
enjoy
they
a
are.
game, why not?
Yeah, we sit and watch. So now, gentlemen, the two younger gentlemen will tell us the talking points of the game. What is it that stood out for you?
The one thing that stands out for me is, if you get your eye in on this wicket, anybody can score runs. Lyon and Murphy showed that. They just applied themselves, and once they played out about 20 to 30 balls, after that, run scoring became easy for them. I had pointed out in the innings break that this kind of a situation will be very, very ideal for the likes of Pujara and Kohli. Take your time in, and after that, run scoring becomes easy. You just need a bad shot.
Oh,
to get
Pujara
yourself-
doesn't know any other way anyway.
Yeah.
But
Same.
Virat,
Oh, I think
will
Virat.
he take that approach?
No, I think he will bat in the same way like how he did in Delhi, like how he did in Indore. he looked good. He doesn't throw his wicket away with bad shots. It's just that one lapse in concentration and that's it.
In the middle, sorry, just to know about, because I missed that part, Rohit was off the field, I saw, and
Yes, but he came back later.
Pujara was captain
Pujara
at
took
that
that DRS for
yes.
Pujara.
Well, I think it was some shoulder issue. I think for Rohit, I was reading somewhere.
I don't know.
But the good thing is, I was worried at that time because then I was worried that whether he'll come to bat or not. But then
he came to.
And was looking good. By the way, the sound of the ball hitting the bat,
Fantastic.
both for Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma.
And Shubman Gill's intent, last over of the day, depositing
6.
Nathan Lyon for a
Which
6.
led to a rather farcical scene of them trying to retrieve the ball from there. The guy finally retrieving a ball when a new ball was taken, then throwing it and falling on his, rear end. Let's say.
It was. I mean,
But that poor guy worked so hard to retrieve the ball. They should have given him the ball.
They should actually. I mean, already they
Got
brought
stuck.
the replacement. Yeah, you could have just let him keep the ball.
One guy got stuck and
Fell and then had to be.
he
picked
went
up.
inside the sheet to retrieve the ball.
Then got stuck
out
in
of
the
it.
sheets.
Exactly, and then fell over. Poor guy.
okay, very good question by Advait. He's asking that all of you had picked
Yes, stop somewhere.
Nathan Lyon over R. Ashwin on these kind of tracks, which he's bang on. A lot of time you guys question us and allege things which we haven't said. Like there was a gentleman earlier saying that we cry about every sort of track, which was not true. We never complained about the previous tracks. We only complained about, I at least was only complaining about this. Anyway, his question is bang on, Advait, where he said that you guys picked Nathan Lyon over Ashwin. Because remember there was this whole debate, it was who's better. And we had said very close call, but on spinning tracks, Ashwin better than Nathan Lyon, but on old retro surfaces, maybe slight edge to Nathan Lyon over Ashwin. We had given. He wants to know, do you still feel the same? Because whatever said and done, credit where credit is due. Ashwin Tata, what do you call
Yeah,
it?
Ashwin.
Tata, 6 wickets.
6 for 91, but although he was very, very pedestrian in the field, either he's hiding an injury because he moved very gingerly in the field while he was running in particular.
Today we are praising him for his bowling and yet you're finding
please.
No, I mean
negative thing.
Ashwin is, see, I can understand that why is this debate on Lyon versus Ashwin is going on. Ashwin is, in these kind of conditions, he's supreme. But Lyon...
What do you mean these kind of conditions?
In India that you've
In
seen,
India.
these kind of pitches.
No, but his point is, which is right, he's saying that the one distinction we made about not these kind of Indian pitches. We spoke about, these are the kind of Indian pitches where Anil Kumble and Harbhajan Singh mostly bowl.
Would bowl, correct, yeah.
Ashwin also bowled on these kind
Yes.
of pitches for a certain part of his career, but majority of the time he bowled on square turners also. So the question is on these kind of pitches between Nathan Lyon and Ashwin.
I will still pick Nathan Lyon.
Yeah, why is that?
Because he's delivered in all kinds of conditions. And even on such tracks, you look at it, who set up the Indore win? It was Nathan Lyon. Who almost set up the Bangalore win, which was on a turner in 2017? It was Nathan Lyon.
No, I'd still go with Lyon.
Why? Give the reason.
Because,
Just not your favorite.
no, not my favorite. My favorite spinner from Australia will forever be Sherman.
No, so he's not there. The ones who are playing only you can pick, na?
Still, I would still go with Lyon for the simple reason that I think his exploits overseas in non-sprint friendly conditions would be, putting him.
But to be fair, once we made that comparison, there were a lot of people put me out on Twitter, said that you said better conditions overseas, this and that. Nathan Lyon, they put out the record, and I think it had the strike rates of both Ashwin and Nathan Lyon in Australia, or at some certain, I forget the data, where Ashwin fared better actually than Nathan Lyon in those conditions. So they were like just pointing out, saying that listen, you said it without looking at the data. But I'll have to again go through that data, because that may have been, again, if you're looking at overall performance, then Nathan Lyon's played a lot many
Test
teams
matches
there,
correct,
and Ashwin's would be less. So I don't know. I'll still have a look at it. But just to answer the question back of what Advait is saying, so firstly, you're saying would we still change the opinion? For that, yes, Ashwin's picked up 6 wickets, 5 for today, but Nathan Lyon's not finished bowling. Firstly, first things first. So we don't know. Secondly, I think the pitches, when I was saying non-spin friendly pitches, I was also talking about overseas pitches where the difference is that extra bounce is there. I think this is an aberration of a pitch, which is completely different. So I don't think I can compare. We were talking about those pitches where Nathan Lyon is better. are pitches with extra bounce, because you know that extra bounce suits his style of bowling more than Ashwin. So which is why I had picked an overall condition, because not only Nathan Lyon can pick wickets in our conditions, he picks in other conditions. So I think an all-round bowler, he'd be slightly high, but it's a very close call. I think if you had to pick Ashwin also, there's no right or wrong answer. I think overall, nice Gary is slightly Gary is marginally ahead is what I feel. But again, on this track for Ashwin to pick up, don't forget Ashwin, he may not have bowled for India in these tracks, but he's born and brought up on slow or low bouncing pitches of India, so he'd know these conditions better. For Nathan Lyon, he's only mostly got like square turners in India or the ones that he's played abroad. So for him also to get used to these conditions may take time. No one definite answer, I think.
Yep. There's always going to be this debate. But looking at Sena countries also, I mean, Nathan Lyon is part of the Sena, but if you look at his contributions in South Africa, then England, he's done pretty well there as compared to Ashwin.
Yeah.
Because that's the only difference that I see. But otherwise, on every other Asian subcontinental conditions, Ashwin takes
You have a
lead.
preference, Aditi?
I'd pick Ashwin because I think
Somebody's got,
he's
Ashwin.
got there. He's worked his way up, and Indian conditions are supposedly tougher. I mean, the wickets that we discussed, and situations that he came across, and I think he has worked his way up, and I genuinely feel that he deserves to be picked out of the two.
But also, I think it's a great day for Ashwin. I think what one thing that was discussed ad hoc on social media all the time, even when he was doing well, that hey, look at Harbhajan and Anil Kumble, they never got the pitches that they are getting, and imagine if they had bowled, they would have got more wickets. Agreed with that sentiment. My point is, what Ashwin has shown you today, assuming these are the kind of pitches that he got throughout his career also, yet he can get you a 6-4. So kudos to Ashwin also.
Yeah, I mean, see, Ashwin has not had rank turners every single time. 2015 onwards till 2019, when India made these similar kind of wickets,
he was still getting you
He
wickets.
was getting you wickets along with Jadeja.
Correct.
Yeah. What worked in that, Jadeja was applying pressure from the other end, bowling continuously, wheeling away.
Same line length, putting the
Ashwin would
pressure.
capitalize on it. So that's what 3 years the Indian public, the Indian administrators have gotten spoiled by making rank turners ever since Chennai. Post-pandemic, you've lost the art of pitch making. Luckily, Ahmedabad, this pitch is kind of a
lost
throw.
the art. In fact, you improve. You know exactly the kind of pitch you want to make.
In extremes.
It's not that you can't make a pitch. You can. Pitch making, they know. In fact, they have gotten better at the art of pitch making. They can make the pitch exactly the way they want to.
Indoor was an aberration.
Yeah, you want yellow
Ahmedabad
color.
2021 pink was an aberration.
Oh man, that
You want this much turn, this and that. Here, go. Pick your. You sometimes go to a restaurant where you can make a pizza and you are allowed to pick your toppings instead of getting a ready-made pizza.
No, Indore was like a half veg, half non-veg pizza.
But they picked for it. They asked for it.
To be fair, these remind me more of like those Betty Crocker type recipes. Put this much, mix this much, roll it, and put this much heat. You've got the result.
But they've
mastered the art of it.
They've gotten better.
No, but this guy Gladiator has said something. I want to understand that what is a good wicket? He says, is it possible to make good wickets in Indian subcontinent? I mean, what is the definition of a good wicket?
No, you can. Of course you can. Gladiator, of course you can. I mean, again, firstly, you're right. There is no definition of what is a good pitch. For me, as I've always said, again, we amongst ourselves differ of what is a good pitch. I like in Test cricket. I'll tell you why. I'll just give you. Because we are now fed so much of white ball cricket, where there is so much of batsman dominated contests, that I have thought that, or at least I wish that I get to see one format where the batsman is at a disadvantage, or they're struggling, or they have to work very hard. So the one thing that I like in Test matches cricket, and what is the good wicket for me, or a good pitch for me, is the one which is heavily favoring the bowler. I have no qualms in saying that I like pitches that heavily favor bowlers, because don't give me that whole thing of balance. Then if that's the case, balance it out in white ball cricket also, balance it out everywhere else, then we can talk balance. But right now you're not balancing white ball cricket. I understand there's commercial, there's crowd that comes in, everyone likes chakkas and chokkas and people want to check. So you've gone one way in white ball cricket, so let's go the other way in red ball. I want pitches that are, I'm not saying completely like 90-10 in favor of bowlers, but if it's even about 70-30 or 60-40, I would say 70-30 in favor of bowlers, I'm happy. 60-40 also I'll take. 70-30, 60-40, that ratio in favor of bowlers I want. Now you decide whether that favor is for fast bowlers. So when I see overseas, I don't mind that Gabba, not the 2-day, even if it's 2-day, whatever, maybe the batsmen weren't good enough to play for 3 days. But I like the Gabbas or the old Waka Perth and Headingley and all of those. I like that. I like those pitches for test cricket. So one format I want, the batsman should be dominated that, okay, now this loose ball I hit for a 4. Let that 4 be rare. Let him survive for multiple balls, and that 4 should be like a celebration.
Right.
Wow, he's been able to hit a 4, or wow, he's hit a 6. That's not happening. So I want, for me, those are good pitches. But for Siddharth and Shane, good pitches are different.
Yeah, for me, okay, examples I'll take the recent 2022-23 test in Wellington. England versus New Zealand. That was an ideal wicket.
Look, pitch. How the test match panned out.
Test match, that's different. The pitch. Bowlers were in the game, batters were in the game. Gabba 2020-2021, Rishabh Pant's heroics, 369, 336. You again had a score of 300. India chased down 300. The wicket remained true. Bowlers, if they exploited, they got that momentum.
And the batsmen of the state set, they managed to.
That's the key.
So that's good wicket for him.
Same. For me, where both batsmen and bowlers can be in the game, and where neither is at a significant disadvantage over the other.
And you mean by bowler, both seam and...
it doesn't just have to be spinners.
But I don't think that would be an ideal pitch for the viewer. I mean, the person.
Definitely would.
Again, that's what I said. We are also viewers in that sense.
That adventure, that fun of somebody go down and somebody.
Then that will come with the caveat of the result.
And not just that. Then it also it's down to relativity. What's your ideal pitch?
Possibly the one disclaimer for that good pitch will be supposing batters, bowlers have an equal say. What is the result? Say England lost by 1 run. That is a great pitch and a great match.
I agree.
India won by 3 wickets at the Gabba. Oh, that's a great match and a great pitch.
But that's also when the match made it. Match made it great.
It's not just the conditions.
Pitch. But I'm saying, okay, so we've got different pitches that we think are great. So again, good wickets we don't know, but I'm assuming Gladiator, just to answer this question, his good wicket means I think of what Siddharth is saying. Okay, that's sort of. So he's asking, can you make those kind of pitches? You can make any kind of pitch. In fact, that's what we were saying. Siddharth said they've lost the art of pitch making. I'm saying they've become better at the art of pitch making. You can make any pitch in India because you've got different types of soil. You can prepare it differently. You can water it differently. The conditions are differently. Which time of the year you have all of that. So you saw, I'll give you an example. If you've got one indoor, for every indoor that you had, there is also the other example of 2004 Nagpur test, which I said, which was a green pitch. They watered it well. I was there at that match, and it really helped fast bowlers. So and you had that red clay, which actually helps, good bounce. We get it at Wankhede also. So you have that, you can make that kind of pitches. By the way, Eden Gardens started making those kind of pitches.
Yeah, when Saurav Ganguly had become the president of CAB.
So if you remember, Eden Gardens before that used to have rank turners. Why? Because I think somewhere Kolkata Knight Riders enjoyed that kind of pitches because they had spinner. Suddenly you had Saurav Ganguly, who was in the school of thought that listen, our batsmen will only get better in these conditions if we have those pitches. He decided to make those kind of pitches.
Correct.
So what is that telling you? That it's not necessary that you only get rank turner, which he's saying, or flat wickets. No, you can make. I'll give you another example. Even in domestic cricket, there is a stadium very close to Delhi, Lali. In domestic cricket, and Haryana Cricket Association made a conscious effort of having a pitch that will have, let's say, for a lack of a better word, English condition. So they could replicate that. So you can get any sort of conditions that you want in India. It might vary from which part of the country you're talking about, but you can. But it's just that India, and I think there's nothing wrong with it, India choose to make one kind of pitches which are spin friendly because it suits them. So what's wrong?
Yeah, but then see, but again, everybody will say minus the WTC, you still had pitches that played to everyone's strength in 2016 till 2019 in India. But that is because, I don't know, this obsession of the WTC, you play according to your core strength in whatever conditions you do. Look at Sri Lanka. I mean, they didn't alter the basic condition of the pitches. That is why they are still in contention. They won against the West Indies. They won a match against Australia and Pakistan.
Well, Sri Lanka is a technicality because again the percentage point thing kind of they haven't played as many tests.
They have played less but have utilized more.
Yeah.
That is the thing. So that's the only
Deepak
point.
Kumar has a question.
Yeah, Deepak Kumar, effect of light heavy roller on a pitch day 3, 4, 5.
So, I mean, I'll just tell you what the difference is. So, there's you got to look at the pitch and the condition and then decide on the roller that you take. By either way, it's not a definite science where everything that you do is going to be right. It's just like the pitch, where when a captain sees the pitch, he assumes how the pitch is going to behave based on his experience. Similarly, when you're choosing a roller, you also don't know exactly 100% how it's going to, because you don't know the nature of the pitch. But just to give you a broad sense or an understanding of what firstly, you are allowed, first to let you know when are you allowed a roller. You are allowed a roller in the middle of the inning. So as soon as the inning gets over, so for example, once Australia
Just to flatten the surface.
Yeah, so when can you use it? When Australia were all out. Between that gap, India then gets a chance because they're coming out to bat to choose the kind of roller they
And
want.
if they say that they don't want the roller, then it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, you can.
I mean,
It's up to you.
they just have to request it.
It's the batting team's
Prerogative.
to decide what they want.
All right.
So they choose that. There's another time where the roller, it's the start of the day.
Yeah.
So let's say now the day is over, or the start of the next day, which is now going to be day 3. Again, before the start, there's a roller. Now what happens? The light and the heavy roller. Heavy roller, because it's heavy, it even out more things. So if it's a very up and down sort of a wicket, you will choose a heavy roller because it will even down. But the downside of a heavy roller is going forward, it will also break the pitch. So because of the amount of pressure that it's given, right, the pitch can break. The thing with a light roller is better when there is a more even pitch, because then those little bit of whatever ups and downs that you have, that can be sorted, and it stays like that for a longer time. So it won't break. So long term it's good, short term may not give you that much benefit. Heavy roller, short term benefits are great, but long term may do some disadvantage. This is just a broad understanding of how, but all of this is so dependent on how much moisture, which part of the world you are in, even there which season you are on. India would be very different, north of India in winters vis-a-vis in summer. So we'll have to take a lot of things in account, and then again it's a guess game when you're choosing the roller.
But it's interesting that how India has diverse conditions and how matches are. They would have it one in south and one in north, and to be able to play on those pitches and to your best efficiency. I mean that is also.
You go further north to Dharamshala. There they have a pacey, bouncy wicket that you will prepare for, and Mohali also fair bit of pace and bounce. Delhi, as you come down further south, it becomes slower and lower.
Right.
Chennai in particular, it breaks up. It's a slow rank turner from day 2 onwards. It becomes like that, but it can also flatten out, like how we saw in 2016.
So do cricketers read about pitch conditions also? Like, do they?
No, I don't think it's a science that you need to read. It's
reading as in are they told about the pitch conditions before they play at any of the venues?
No.
I mean, it's important to know what kind of pitch usually is in that specific stadium.
What happens
or whatever.
is when they practice,
maybe
there is some work around the center wicket. There, the captain or one of the players, the core leadership team, they visit the pitch. They examine it and then they see, okay, how it is, okay. Then it is all about instinct and guess, okay, maybe this pitch will be like that going forward.
All right.
And then they convey to the team that maybe if we win the toss, we should bat or bowl first, looking at it.
All right.
And then they make that decision accordingly, and that is how they tell the batters. The batters will have a meeting saying, okay, this is how we have to approach ourselves on this pitch. For the bowlers, they'll say, this is the length that you'll have to bowl. Maybe you can trouble the opposition in that sense.
All right.
So that is how they prepare for it, but anything can go wrong because the bowlers...
Yeah, when you're playing, then obviously, it can go either way.
It's about instinct, muscle memory, whether you want to attack, defend, you're caught in between that.
Right.
Like for example, Ahmedabad, most of the batters, they have lost their wickets by playing bad shots. There's not been a very skillful ball, barring a couple from Ashwin or Shami.
Going after Ashwin.
Couple of balls that Ashwin and Shami bowled which needed skill, tremendous amount of skill.
You're saying most of the wickets are bad shot, nothing to do with
And Ashwin doesn't run in the field?
Ashwin doesn't run. Yeah, he doesn't. Man, oh man, he doesn't.
Carey's shot was bad.
Carey's head's shot was bad.
Head was also bad. Yeah.
Heads was bad. Then Stark classical Smith, but again stuck on the crease, bottom edge.
For that, then that bad
Labuschagne. Bad technique.
Labuschachne.
Yeah. So that is why Stark.
Schachne.
Kakne.
Schachne.
His name was Labuschagne. Simple.
It's actually Labuschagne.
No, it's not Labuschagne. That's not his real pronunciation. He's South African origin.
I know.
So he said that Australians have made this one.
It's very
But
common.
his actual surname is Labuschachne, which is a South African.
Yeah. Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
Yeah, South African.
Like we work that thing up in our
they
throat for Urdu.
The epiglottis.
Yes.
Epiglottis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yes. So just more questions we had. One second. There were somebody who pointed out, we've gone down, where he said that the ideal pitch, because you were talking about the ideal pitch, he thought that the Nagpur pitch was ideal, where India also got 400.
Nagpur was a good pitch.
But you know what? All of this is in hindsight.
Yeah.
You imagine the noise around the Nagpur pitch
Oh yeah. But
at that time. Because you got a Delhi after that, because you got an Indore after that.
Indore, which was
now
the
you're
worst
saying,
of the lot.
wow.
But didn't most of the opposition outlets there make the noise? We didn't make that much of a noise.
Matlab, everyone, there were enough people also in India who were pointing out, of our subscriber also, what is this? Remember, we didn't make the swastika. This is happening there.
Left-hander, right-hander.
Right-hander, yeah.
Of course, there was a lot of noise. It's okay that India went on to score those many runs.
Yeah.
That's why you're now looking. But you asked me, I loved all those pitches. So spin turning tracks were good. Yeah, I like Nagpur. I like Delhi also. It's good.
Yeah.
Find a way to play, as
Exactly.
Australia did in Indore.
Indore, absolutely.
So do it. Not a problem.
Yep.
If teams can score somewhere between 300 and 400, it will be a good one for test cricket. Most likely, it will produce results as well. So he's saying 300, 400 pitches, which you've got, maybe slightly more than that.
Yeah.
Don't know how much India is going to get from that. Anish Nakra says the batters dominate yet another day of test cricket, but do you expect the pitch to offer more for the spinners as the game progresses?
Yes.
Anish
I
says.
think it will. It will, because already you saw some turn.
The ball is staying low consistently. So
But you know, Indian batters look very comfortable.
yeah, because here the
Very
ball,
good.
yeah, because it's
Very
staying low consistently. It's not up and down.
The pace is also sluggish. Very slow. So that's why they can be more on the back foot and then negotiate.
Play their shots.
Yes. Unlike Indore, which had a bit more pace looking at it, the wicket.
Yeah,
Because-
you remember some balls by Kuhneman were zipping off the deck.
Yes. Lion also. So this pitch is slow and low,
But consistent.
consistent.
No, but his point of that, will the spinners come into the game as the game progresses? But just to answer that, any spinners already come into
Exactly.
the game. 6 wickets for
Ashwin.
But I get your point. You're trying to say, will they be more dominant as to not allow teams to get 480 odd? Of course, that will be the case, but that's no rocket science. That tends to happen in India also. It's very, very hot in Ahmedabad is what I believe. So as the sun keeps beating down, it will keep getting drier. Also, don't forget the bowlers' footmarks are going to come into play as the game progresses. So yeah, batting will get tough. But I think
The bowlers will have to toil a bit more.
day 3 also should be very good for batting.
Yep.
It's I think from second half of day 4 going on to day 5 is when you really need to be worried. This looks like a kind of pitch where day 3, 3.5 should be fine, which will help India be at par with Australia, I'm guessing.
Yep.
From there on, then it could be a lottery, or not. If not a lottery, both teams are comfortable enough to play out the match, and then it ends in a
draw. So yes, even over the weekend, you could potentially see one more result. That's happening about thousands of miles away. And if that happens, then boy, March 17 to March 21, that is going to be tense.
Is Sri Lanka winning the match, this one?
So far they are dominating, and yes, they are on top. They are on top.
Boss, as I said, I'm telling you guys again, there's the least amount of chance of an India win here. Not to say India are not the better team, which is the way the game is right now. So draw first, Aussie win second, India win third. What that tells you, most likely you will get either option 1, 2, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Which means World Test Championship final is out of your hands.
Yes.
Which you till now thought is guaranteed.
Yep.
What is your mock-if?
My mock is that only 2 results are possible.
Exactly what I was just saying.
You just said that.
I was just.
Or a draw.
India deny them the victory.
Yes.
draws the game.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's exactly what I said.
So
So,
the
we are finishing 6:15.
pocket to दे दिया.
No, 6:15 we will.
अच्छा.
6:15. So I think, yeah, exactly what I was saying. Two
Yep.
results most likely, which means it's out of India's chance then, huh? Or our hands.
Yes.
And as Siddharth is saying with a heavy heart that his team New Zealand will be losing the first test match.
Yeah.
You know his team is.
No, but then this is
Why?
this series
Why?
I'll very gleefully
Why?
look at because
Do you know that next test match will have highest viewership ever?
For
Because
New
all
Zealand.
Indians will be
All
watching.
Indians will be watching
Sri
it.
Lanka versus.
see for
There'll
me
be more Indians than New Zealanders watching
The
it.
people broadcasting New Zealand will have a shock. What is this like?
no, but then look, I'm always in a catch-22 when it comes to supporting Sri Lanka or New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Have
Two of my best teams. I get sad if either of them
India.
lose.
No.
Yeah. For me, it's Sri Lanka or New Zealand. But both are playing. I don't know who I have to support them.
Exactly.
Yeah, like see, I make it
India
here
third. You know where is India? Third, fourth,
third.
third. Oh,
India's
God.
third for you.
Yeah, India's third.
Thank God. they're
Fourth
third.
is Australia.
I was expecting him to say India's fourth because CSK comes after that.
Fourth is Australia. But India, Australia, I will support India. If it's Sri Lanka, India,
Chalo, let
heavy
us
heart.
all support India then. Let's hope for their win.
No, see here it's very
Let's
tough.
hope they
See,
take the
I
trophy
had
back.
supported New Zealand in that 2021 final. I make no bones over it. I did. And I was very happy when that happened. So, absolutely.
Anti-national traitor.
I was happy
Traitors
in,
we have on our
I was
show.
happy in 2000, 2019, 2021. I was very happy.
We don't want to know that. Thank you.
Good one. So yeah, that's that. 6:15
Yes.
is our dugout. And
ये पटाखा मैं हूँ.
You need not have answered that. But
tell her this. She will never.
you shouldn't.
Go ahead, please.
Just said it. ये पटाखा मैं हूँ. Somebody has written in the comments ये
मैं-
पटाखा
how
कौन
do you know
है?
मैं
मैं
हूँ?
मुझे
उसको नहीं
तारीफ
पता
आज
मैं-
चाहिए.
नहीं, one second. You are saying मैं हूँ. So मैं तो he also knows मैं ना. It's not him, me or him. But मैं को उसको तो he wants to know who the
Siddharth,
मैं is.
please, आज you gotta tell them
Who's the मैं?
who is this pataka.
Why me?
Do the honors. You always do
you
that. don't
started it. You
No,
ended
you
it.
always
Yeah, good
introduce me to in the beginning of the show whenever I join you guys. So again, why not?
But you-
tell our viewers.
You started it. You
I would
ended.
say that line again, but it's all right. Go ahead, please. No, enlighten them.
They are enlightened.
Clearly, he's not. Otherwise,
He
he would be
is.
asking.
Either his fuse is gone.
He's our. I think he's watching us for the first
First
probably.
time, maybe. Yeah.
So yeah.
Ah, but
Anything interesting to say?
You don't know
about
such a
it?
famous personality
Yeah.
sitting next to us. It's
Okay,
very often on Sports Today. And if you don't know, we're not going to tell you who she is. What you need to do is go check out a segment she does called Sport and Spice.
Yes,
Her
sir.
name will come. You'll be able to read that.
Follow us on Instagram as well.
Yeah, you can follow it. So just see, there are lots of ways of finding out. We're not going to tell you. Okay? For now, 6:15.
6:15 dugout.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. Vanakkam.
Take care.